right?
Yeah, but how are you going to do that?
Okay.
I don't know how you're going to be able to do that. They're going to find it themselves. They'll find it themselves.
Yes, we got it back up and running.
All right, and I hope everybody got something out of that information from Blake. He's pretty sharp. I think he does a really good job for us, and I know he does very well with these claims, so I hope he does well with us.
Thank you, Eric, and thanks for bringing him in here. I'm sure it's exactly what he wanted to be doing tonight.
A bunch of seniors.
So we have our president's report. Try to make this quick. Pine Ridge deserves a board of directors that its number one goal is the well-being of the residents and the long-term health of Pine Ridge, financially and structurally. Not the two-story structural certification, but mechanical stuff here, like the fountain that's down. I want you to know that's exactly what you have now with this board of directors. During the board meetings, you have witnessed that we have open discussions. We share our ideas and views. That discussion is healthy for the community. Though it might get heated at some times, it lets us come to the best solution or decision for the overall community. Since I've been on the board, we have many accomplishments and improvements. You can all remember the bocce ball court and how it was with the Home Depot carpet, and now we have artificial turf. Plays a lot better. The bike parking was in disarray, disorganized. We organized that with official parking areas. Worn out volleyball equipment has been updated to a professional set. We will soon see our tennis courts / pickleball and shuffleboard courts refurbished. And many of you have already had your Xfinity switched over to the new equipment, extra channels, and reduced bit billing. There's more that we are also in process of having our seawall and dock rebuilt. We need to schedule our blacktop repairs, as this has been discussed, specifically the walking path. We need to lock in pricing and a contractor for the dumpster containment. We will soon have our damaged light poles delivered and replaced, along with additional lighting for a safer community. We have some areas of concrete that need to be repaired and may be able to be tied in with the concrete delivery when they do the seawall, if Eric is able to twist the right arms and such. The board of directors also needs to pay close attention to other maintenance requirements that will need attention in the future. These are things that we all need to be prepared for, be proactive. This is what the board of directors is responsible for. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, we are not the sheriff's department. We can be supportive, but we may not have all the solutions, especially when it comes to a legal dispute. So let's be thankful for Tom Torino and all the work that he has done over the years, especially the frustrating work of getting our internet modernized and functional. Bill England for the many hours that he has spent as treasurer. Michelle Camp, liaison to the social committee, and her foresight with special planning for the community. Bob Geisler, organizing a volunteer landscaping squad, I like that word, and his insight into structural and mechanical situations. You remember he is responsible for rebuilding our fountain that works much better than it did, although it seems to be down at the moment. Andy Levin and Bill England, not hours, but days of work that led to our new fiber network contract. John Mao, safety and lighting. He's the man that would go out of his way to keep you safe. I know there's a lot of seniors in here that have called on John pretty much any hour of the day, and he's available, he comes to your rescue. Like all the board members, I do have a special passion for Pine Ridge Village. My hands-on involvement in many different projects such as bike parking, bocce ball, and the numerous times that I've put the gate arm back on. Remodeling our villa. These are things that I have enjoyed. In all honesty, it was probably easier doing the work myself than dealing with a contractor. That's a joke, folks. All of our decisions are solid and in the best interest of this community. Now, as for the comments we have had on real estate business, true, we are not in the real estate business, but we are in the business of doing what is right for this community. Our October surprise. Our villa has been remodeled, turned into a show place for this community, and will be closing in December. Yes, we sold the villa.
Yay.
It is also my intention that the profit from the villa, the land behind me, both go into our general fund to be used for shoring up funds for the amenities that make Pine Ridge the lovely community that we all want it to be. Thank you. Next up is our manager's report.
That was a wonderful statement, and it's nice to see you single out the board members because they all do a good job. Everybody cares a lot. I would say.
Yes, at times it could be thankless, but as I said, we have a passion for what we do, and we try to do our best for all of you folks. Eric?
So for a manager's report, a lot's happened in the last month. I think we had 2 hurricanes in the last 4 weeks, so that's pretty good. Milton looked like it was going to be a bad one. I thought that was going to be, that one might have been it, but
Yeah.
thank God, it did not hit us. We had very minimal damage. The tree damage was the worst that we had, and that was mainly due to the location of the trees that came down up near the front access points. And we saw more damage from Helene, which was still very minor. A lot of good things going on in the community. We've got a welcoming committee that has started up. They are working really hard. They do a really good job. I've been working with them. Part of the welcome package that they're putting together was an updated magnet. Years ago, I made these magnets for everybody to put on their refrigerator. So it had all the important phone numbers and information. So we updated that, and it's got all the current info. And I put some out for everybody on the way in if you want to grab it. I just think it's a great idea to have them. You can put them on the refrigerator, and then you always have our contact info and the other important information that you might need right there. So I hope everybody likes that. The one of the main projects that's been taking up a lot of our time, that's Bill and I, is working on the 2025 budget. We had a couple budget committee meetings, but kind of had a lack of interest this year. So Bill and I worked on it mostly with us, with input from the other board members. Rising costs, mainly the insurance premium, and then the addition of high-speed internet and all the extras with Comcast have increased our costs. That's, we're spending more due to that. But we've worked within the budget, within what we can, to try to keep it as reasonable as possible. I think Bill is going to talk about what you can expect. And hopefully everybody is satisfied with that. I think it comes out pretty well. Talking about Comcast, the deployment of the bulk services, it's been a big thing over the last month and a half, is getting everybody set up. One of the things I want to bring up that hasn't been mentioned enough, I think, is there are, I think, 27 people or something that had CenturyLink internet in here. If you had or had CenturyLink, if you still have it, CenturyLink internet, you want to go ahead and get rid of that and have your Comcast high-speed installed, because you don't want to double pay and you're paying for your Comcast, and it's going to be a lot faster than the DSL that CenturyLink can provide. So if you still have CenturyLink, or if anybody you know has it, tell them to go ahead and switch over. Almost everybody that I've spoken to, though, has been very happy with the package that we've gotten. I know some of the Xfinity employees, I guess, are surprised when they see how many extras we have on our package versus other communities. That's nice to hear. Tells us we did a good job negotiating. But we have had a few people that have had issues, some worse than others. We'd like to have no issues, but I guess that's never going to happen. To try and quell these issues, we've got a date scheduled for Thursday, November 14th, when Nathan, who you guys remember from a few meetings ago, he's going to come in with a team of representatives that work at the store that know all the information about the technicals, the billing, setting appointments, all that stuff. And you can come here to the clubhouse in person from 1 to 3 on Thursday the 14th, and we'll help you with anything that is with anything that you're having an issue with. I know some of the people are having service-related issues, and that's probably a home run cable into the house temporarily until the fiber network is installed. Others of you want to have your bill double checked. The contract or service went into effect on September 18th, so you should not be billed from that date forward. I know 1 or 2 people's bills seem to be really screwed up. Other people just maybe haven't gotten the credit or haven't gotten their credit. But I've seen people get credits from anywhere between $5 and $75. So you definitely want to check out your bill, because it's going to depend on what your bill date was related to the September 18th date. So keep that in mind. But the deployment overall is going very well. And if you're having issues, the best thing to do is email me the information, so that way I can, as accurately as I can, escalate it through the Comcast ranks, the people who are working for us. And I'm hoping that this Thursday, the 14th, in person, will help people. And we're going to schedule another one. I know a lot of people aren't here, so we're going to schedule another one probably the second week of January, second or third week of January. And those people that come down 1st of January can come participate in that one. So that is the deployment. Our milestone inspection, Bob kind of referred to it in his statement. Our 3-story buildings were required to have a milestone inspection on the structural integrity. This is due to the collapse of the building in Surfside a couple years ago. We have completed our milestone inspection. All the buildings passed, and we have no structural deficiencies. So that is good. The next step is to finalize what's called a structural integrity reserve study. And we have to have that completed by the end of the year. However, it doesn't have to be implemented into the budget until next year. So that buys us some time to try to minimize the impact on you guys, whatever the results of that are. The structural integrity reserve study stuff is all brand new, and the lawyers are kind of going through what has to be on there and what doesn't, because certain things your bylaws disagree with the law with. So that extra time is helpful. And the only reason we have that is because we vote on our budget in 2022. a lot of associations, their fiscal year will end in January or February. They would have to incorporate it into their next fiscal year after, anyone after December 31st, 24. Pine Ridge Pool Gates, the electronics, last month I told you that was gonna be all hooked back up. This has been excuses, we don't really like excuses, but this has been a common excuse, I've even had to use it. But unfortunately, we got a big setback with the storm, which has put several projects on hold, so we have to get back to them. You guys are a priority, but we had to get to these other ones first. So that's.
Priority.
We still haven't paid them.
Well, this is our gate company for the access control.
Oh, the gate, I'm sorry.
Yes. We had a similar situation with our pool heaters. We had them repaired. There was a defective component as part of the repairs. And then we had a little Hurricane Milton, and then instead of them coming the next day to fix it, it took them until the following Monday to fix it. So the heaters were down. I guess that's becoming a bigger part of living in Florida, is having to really anticipate these storms and spinning up quickly. We still have Honk construction scheduled to start repairing our seawall. We don't have dates yet, but sometime before the end of the year is what we're expecting. Our tennis and pickleball courts, along with shuffleboard, that he's going to patch up for us, is going to start on Monday. If you saw the barrels, most of the materials are actually here already on site. So we'll be starting on Monday. So the pickleball players, you guys can play the next few days, but then we have to take a week or so off for the new stuff to be installed. Mulching around the community is currently happening. We switched to the natural Florida mulch, and I think it looks really good from what I've seen so far. It looks really good. 63 pallets of mulch, 70 bags per pallet. So we do that. An update on the property to our south. I had some people come back in town, and they said they thought they were going to come and see condos behind us, but there's nothing there. It looks exactly the same, which I personally don't mind. I like it the way it is, but progress is progress. I have every quarter I've spoken to them, and they were supposed to be first quarter of the year, and they got pushed to the second quarter of the year. So April I would contact them, and they got pushed to the third quarter. And so hi Eric, we're well. We're on track. The closing got pushed to mid-December. We will circle back with you as we get closer to make sure we're aligned with the closing. Thank you again for helping us out. So that one, hopefully they close it by the end of the year, and that'll be another chunk of money coming in for us, which is always a good thing. The last thing that I wanted to just review one more time with everybody is the administration of the end of the year annual meeting stuff. Next month at the November 20th board meeting, we're going to have your budget mailing packages with you want to run for the board, the intent to run for the board form, the rule changes that are being proposed, and the first notices for the annual meetings. If you come to the meeting, you can pick your packet up. It's also going to have a copy of the structural milestone inspection in there. So if you want to read it, you're able to read it and learn a little more. If you come to the meeting and you want to pick up your packet, that'll save us a little money on postage. That's November 20th. If you decide you want to run for the board, there are 4 of the positions that will be up for election or re-election, depending on who runs. December 12th at 4 p.m., you have to submit your intent to run for the board of directors form. We're going to include a blank form in the mailing for everybody, okay? So if you decide to do it, fill out and sign that form. December 18th is going to be the December board meeting. It's going to be our budget meeting. The board will either hopefully approve the proposed budget. You'll get to pick up your election packet, which that's the one that has your proxy form, your envelopes to vote, and then double seal your ballot, and then mail back into us. It's also going to have any information on document changes, if we have any, or amendments that would happen. And it will have your ballot and your candidate information sheets for the election. So that's very important. And it's very important that we get responses for the proxy and the vote, because if we don't have at least 51% or 232 proxies, we can't even have, it's not a quorum, we can't have the annual meeting. So please, when you get that, return it. So December 18th, that's our board meeting. That'll take us through the end of the year. January 7th at 6 p.m., we're going to meet the candidates, which is always an exciting night. And then at the annual meeting, which will be the third Wednesday, or the third Wednesday, January 22nd?
Yeah.
January 22nd. It will be the annual meeting. We'll announce the proxy votes. We'll do our board of directors election, which, depending on how many candidates, we're going to need volunteers. So, if you want to be a counter, be ready for that. And then, as long as the board doesn't postpone it, the organizational meeting where they elect officers, president, vice president, treasurer, will occur right on that same day. So I just want to give you those dates. We'll post them on the website, and I'll hand them out also. If you have any questions ever, come and see me or give me a call. I'm happy to talk to anybody. Thank you. I hope everybody got a lot of good information from Blake. He's very good. I interviewed several. He's by far.
Just a quick question. I know there's been a lot going on the last month. Are you still doing the Wednesday meeting, the managers meeting?
Yeah, I am still doing it. Actually, the next Wednesday, I have to take my dad to the doctor at 2:30 in the afternoon, so we're going to have it at 10 a.m. instead of 3 p.m. So that was it. We'll change it on the calendar. If you're interested in coming, we're going to have it at 10 a.m. on Wednesday.
Thank you, Eric. I want to be perfectly clear about one thing. When I refer to this money, house, property, going into the general fund, I don't want you to think that, we have funds that are short here and there, and they've been, I don't want to use the word, but mismanaged or something like that. I didn't say it for that reason. The reason that we have that thought of putting it into the general fund is that we have the infrastructure of this community that needs to be taken care of. Not talking about the gates that open and close. I'm talking about big things like this swimming pool out here. And you may have heard that we've had a little bit of a thing go on called inflation. And we're just concerned about major projects like that and the roof, what those new costs could possibly be. Putting it into that fund there allows us to move it to where it's required when the time comes. Bill,
Sir.
Follow that up with your treasurer's report, please.
I don't know if I can follow those two reports or not. I've only got about 20 pages, so mine'll be rather fairly long. Got a half a page. You may want to give them that number since he was talking about where we stood and didn't. We have some money there.
Yeah, I mean, we've got like $500,000 in surplus funds. You guys have the balance sheet of income statement we gave you on the way in. I think this is $533,053 now. It costs a little over $100,000 a month to, keep the lights on. So it's basically a 3-4 month emergency fund, but we're going to be getting this chunk money that we would never ordinarily get. And that's what Bob is talking about. And we want to utilize those resources wisely if you utilize them at all. That's what, but we keep a healthy surplus. 2 years ago when we had the audit, when Bob and these guys took over on the board, the audit. One note from the auditor that I guess would be a criticism of us is that we keep too much cash on hand, too much money in the bank, and frankly, I think that's a good problem to have. I mean, riding it close to the edge, right? The communities that ride it close to the edge, when a disaster happens or a hurricane happens, that's when you get the bill. It's pay me now, like, that's when you're getting the bill for the special assessment. By keeping enough extra money on hand, like, especially with the hurricane season, that prevents hopefully any surprises for you guys, because it's hard enough to make that quarterly payment plus everything else, to get hit with a special assessment like some of these communities have, where it's in the multi-thousands of dollars. We don't want to do that here, and I'm really proud that, I know I've been here 13 years, we haven't done it, we've had 2 very serious storms.
And also by having that money there, when we need cleanup, like from our hurricanes and so forth, it makes it a lot easier to get that money to these people, and they know that. They're gonna get paid when they get the job done. And that makes us pretty close to the top on getting what we need to get done, so. And a lot of that is the contacts that Eric makes and has made in the past. And it just makes it so much simpler for all of us.
Go ahead.
All right, then. Good evening, everyone. I can report again tonight that the treasury remains stable. Eric and I have been working very hard to finalize the proposed 2025 operating and reserve budget. We knew this year would be challenging due to our ever-increasing property insurance premium, in addition to the high-speed internet to our community contract. And this has thrown us a little behind on getting the numbers out of what your assessment and my assessment is going to be. We've had so many different things going on, and the numbers have changed on some of this other stuff, prices going up and all that, and we're trying to get it as close as possible and keep it as low as we can. And we've done the best we can do at this point, but hopefully you don't kill the messenger. To give everyone an idea of what is expected, according to the proposed budget that we have given out to the board members at this time, and that is just a proposal, we currently show an increase of between 9 and 11%. This is 10%. Yeah, it's around 10. And this is if no significant changes are required in the next month. I want residents to keep in mind that although the assessments will increase because we no longer pay for internet a la carte, we will all be saving in our overall total bills. And probably I haven't found anyone, well, yesterday some lady came in and said she was paying more, but I can't see how that was possible. Hopefully she's going to get that worked out. But everyone's bill should go down. And what we've tried to do is the money you save from combining the internet and the TV and the new contract with them is going to offset and actually save you some money in the long run by combining those. So you'll not have a bill from Comcast come in each month unless you go and add some additional things to it. But if you say have a $300 bill, or say you had a $100 bill for the quarter, that's $300, and you're going to looking at probably somewhere around a little $125, $150 increase. So overall, your dues is actually going to go down, which it doesn't look like you have to start with, but we've tried to make it as good as we can.
The amount you pay is going to go down overall, because most people will pay about $75 a month for the Comcast internet. Now you're paying much less. Now your fees are a function of the insurance and the the Comcast, but the Comcast is actually subsidized because we got that door fee, so we're able to lower that. And that's not really impacting the dues that much. It's the insurance, but it's also a little bit of the Comcast. But you're trading, you're gonna get $120 maybe increase in your assessment, but you're getting rid of an $80 a month bill. I know some people may have had it cheaper than that. However, the majority of the people, especially the ones that rented their modem and all that stuff, they were paying more. And we're also getting a fiber optic network, so we're gonna get much better service. But I think a 9 or 10% increase is probably what everybody was expecting. That came out better than what I was expecting, actually.
And we realize, that it's hard times for everyone. And we're trying to keep these fees as low as we can. And that's the reason we didn't take it. We added some of the money that we get from the door fee into the assessments to offset that a little bit. Like I said, it's not a great deal, but every little bit helps. And that's what we've tried to look at. And hopefully you'll be satisfied with it. I wished it was nothing, but sometimes you don't always get what you wish for. Okay, the financial statements are always available for review, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Either ask Eric or ask myself, and we'll try to get you what you're looking for, and hopefully you'll understand it. Thank you.
Yeah, do you guys ever have any questions?
Thanks, Bill. Now,
Want more than a page, wasn't
we normally have our committee reports right now. Michelle has an announcement that she said she wanted to make. Other than that, I know it's getting late. The Golden Bachelor is going to be on in 20 minutes. So we need to move this along.
Thanks. All I wanted to do was talk about the community cooperative. Eric sent out an email a couple months back about the community cooperative who said they wanted to come in and kind of partner with us as a community to see if there was ways that they could help us and maybe ways that we can help them. So Leanne Nesbitt is kind of the liaison with the community cooperative. She spoke with a gal named Janelle, and Janelle is the person who represents community cooperative and will be willing, I should say, to come in and speak to us to let us know what they would do for the community. Now, what I did put down here was their mission, and their mission is to eliminate hunger and homelessness in our county, which is great. But they want to do it with volunteers, so we can volunteer in order to help them. And they also, in turn, can come in and help those in our community, because we have some people in our community that could use help getting Meals on Wheels or some other volunteer services for somebody to come in. So it's kind of a hand-in-hand partnership. Originally, we were going to have somebody come talk to the social club committee, and we just decided that really wasn't an outreach enough for the whole community to understand. So I am proposing that we bring Janelle in next month for about a 10 to 15 minute presentation so that it's also on video and everybody can see what it is that this community cooperative is doing. So I already talking with Janelle. She is available if you guys are willing to say yes, that she can come in and make a presentation to us and the rest of the community.
Let's do it.
So
I agree.
it doesn't
Everybody
seem
agree?
like a conflict or anything.
We'll go ahead and
A
pencil.
lot of people would enjoy that.
The only thing I am going to say is, given everything you got going on at the November 20th meeting, she did ask if she could come to be here at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah.
And unless people
We'll
are going
do
to
just
come,
like we played.
right, but if people are going to come and pick up their packets, they need to come early, because I know what it gets like at the entrance there. Come early to get your packets.
Come early to get this.
Yeah.
Vote early, vote often.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move this along. We've got some old business here.
Whoa. John,
Oh, yeah, we don't want to move down that quick, do we, Barb?
No.
We
Come on up.
gotta save time for some fun.
Anyway, first of all, I want to thank whoever put the lights by the bridge. I'm excited to walk across it
Were you
tonight.
happy?
Yeah, well, it wasn't there last night, so
I wanted to
I'm
make sure for tonight it
excited.
was there for you.
we have a lot of things going on, coming up. And I'm not gonna bore you with everything because it's all on the board. But the big things that are coming up in the next week is trivia, thanks to, the O'Learys who agreed to do that again. It's gonna be this Sunday at 6:30. We have Halloween, which Kathy Sulo and Mike Balazar, and I don't know who else, Kathy, is involved in that. But there's gonna be a Halloween, Monster Mash here. It's bring, whatever you want to eat or drink. And if you can bring some candy to put on the table, I guess, to share. And November 2nd is craft fair at 9 a.m. We're having the hot dog sale at 11:30. It's 2 hot dogs, bag of chips, and, water for $6.
Starts at 11.
Starts at 11.
Mhm.
Why was it on the calendar for 11:30?
I don't know, it's always started at 11.
Okay, we'll have to fix that on the calendar then.
There you go.
11 o'clock, and we'll go to, what time?
12:30.
12:30, okay. Luminary sale will start at, that day also. We're doing, we've purchased the lights to go around the trees. Eric, do you have a date for the lights to go up yet?
No.
They will go up before Christmas.
That would be the whole thing, yeah.
I think we need to talk about that.
Don't they have 50% off?
Bob Geisler.
Yeah, the lights around the trees, there's a tree problem, plus there's an electrical problem.
Ah,
Yes, so it needs to be worked out before
Okay.
we can. begin to deal
well,
with that.
we've got the tree, the lights, we were told it was a go, so, and we want people to know that,
And they're
We've
not-
spent the money.
They're not Halloween lights and Christmas lights, right?
but I know it. But things get put on the back burner, so we want to make sure that they're taken care of. And November 3rd is karaoke at 6:30 in the clubhouse. We have people coming back. There's so many things going on in November. Please follow the board out there. Romeo, I need to know who's in charge of Romeo.
Milton.
Nope, Chepler.
Milton Shepler,
He's in charge. Okay, I'll call him.
the hurricane.
Also, you gave me a card today that was returned for, Georgiana Flynn.
I think she's here.
She is
Here she
here.
is.
However, the address that we had on file was 7 years old. So I think we need to put out to people in the community, if your northern address changes, please notify the office so that we know how to get a hold of you if
What
we
list-
have to.
What list are you working off a paper list?
I guess we called the office and that was the address we got.
Lorraine has the paper list. She does the sunshine.
So,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
And, again, please refer to the board, because we're gonna be doing a board outside here, a social club board, because we are gonna be doing a lot of different activities. Thank you all.
Thanks, Barb. And
Try to
thanks
be
to all the
short and sweet.
volunteers. And if you want to get involved with the social club, they're more than welcoming to have other people come and be involved. Wait a minute.
I got one more thing. Thanksgiving, we have 2 people that so far that are willing to cook a turkey for the dinner. We need 3 more. So if somebody's willing to cook a turkey, please contact me and let me know.
I don't want to say anything crazy, but we've got a $2,000 oven behind you.
I know, but then I don't
So
want
we
to be
have that
cooking
extra
3
space.
turkeys. So anybody that's willing to help, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's take care of this old business. We only have about 12 minutes before go time. We need to vote on a proposal to refurbish the dock. We have a proposal to replace boards with marine grade lumber for $12,000. I know that sounds expensive, and last time we did it, it was Home Depot womanized, and we all know what happened there.
I'll tell her when I
If
see
we
her.
wanted to upgrade the truck's
I'll let her
material,
know.
instead of the cost would be $21,000. We've had lengthy discussions that revolving around that. This work would be completed by Ponce Marina, the same vendor who is performing the seawall repairs, hopefully at the beginning of December. I'll put the pressure on there. We discussed the plastic type board Trex. It's not the Home Depot Trex. That would be a 2-inch thick Trex board, commercial or marine grade, whatever you want to refer to it as. Right now, from visual inspection, a little poking around at the dock, the structure of that dock, which is, probably marine grade post into the ground or, for a dock, they're solid. The situation is the boards on top, the ribs that go across, we've identified some rot situation there, so we know some of those boards will be replaced. My concern, not that y'all aren't worth the Trex boards on there, but that would mean that we're gonna put a product on there that probably has like a 50-year lifespan on a product that's already been in existence for, I'm gonna go with what, 30 years, 35 years, just guessing. So we could very well put a 50-year product on top of a product that only has 25 or 30 years left in it, and that's the concern. There is mild concern about it absorbing the extra heat and becoming hot. I know some individuals that have that type of product know that it is hot. So with having said all of that, kind of bring it up to date, do I have a motion to approve one of these options? Do we need to review what those options are?
I'll make a motion on marine grade. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
I just have a question, Bob, you would know this. The fasteners that they use, so they don't rust, we have to make sure they're using the right ones.
They need to be stainless, I believe.
I think it says on here stainless steel.
All right,
That's
that's
just
just.
310 stainless.
Good.
It says it's stainless steel.
Yeah.
As long as they're-
So we'll get that moving along and make that a safe dock for viewing, but not feeding the turtles, because we know we're not supposed to feed the turtles in our lake. They're supposed to survive on the nature and the growth that's in our lake. We don't want to make them, what might be referred to as, lazy. They should hunt for their own food. So
They go out in the middle of the road and get them back.
just don't put a tortoise back in the
No.
water there.
No.
Before I ask for a motion to close this meeting up, do we have any questions from the audience on topics discussed tonight?
Who do I talk to? Who's in charge of the fountains? I want to be on the committee.
When you grab Bob, you can talk to him sometime.
Gotcha.
We don't actually have a fountain committee, but we have a group of people that goes out there with a sponge and they scrub the inside of the bowl.
No, she's talking about the one in the lake.
We
Oh, the
can-
lake pump.
We can talk about
Talk
that.
to Eric.
So, nobody has any questions? Tina, come on up.
Tina Glenn, a Windsor Club Circle. Are we supposed to have a connect fee with Comcast?
Connect fee, nothing, I don't
Okay, we
want
got our bill today that has $100 connect fee on it.
to. Okay, yeah, so that'll have to be removed. I don't know if you want to come down on the 14th, or if you want to try to call.
Needs to be paid before with them, so I'll call them.
Okay, yeah, if you have trouble, let us know. We can try to.
My second question is, how much of a profit did we realize on the villa?
So we sold it for 275, and I think we had 133, if I remember off the top of my head, so.
For everything, all the.
No, it's not closed yet, so after, I don't know how much we're gonna net.
We'll know exactly when the dust settles.
Yeah, but I mean, we're selling it for double, or a little more than double what we have.
All right, thank you.
Which is a lot more than if we had sold it the way it was. So,
Can I make a motion to close the meeting?
no. I just want everybody to know that early voting has started in Fort Myers, and it doesn't matter who you vote for, exercise your right to go out and vote. The Housing Authority is one of them on Renaissance Preserve Way, North Fort Myers Recreation Center, and the Fort Myers Library, which might be the most convenient for us, and that is on Lee Street. So now, John.
Can I make a motion to close the meeting?
Yes, you may. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
On the early voting thing, there's a tool online that will tell you the wait times at each location, and I have like green, yellow, red, so go to the green ones and it will be less.
I'll call Sue when I get home. Make sure we're posted. In the hot dogs. Just like no. Thank you.
And if it takes us
I hope you stay well.
We'll see.
Oh, no, this is. I know, please,
So-
rabbi,
Be careful going home.
I will, thank you. You too.
So I'm saying.
You too. Bye, guys.
People can't. See you, Michelle. I love that. I was.
Yeah. And you too.
All right.
When is that?
You what?
Good
When is
stuff.
that gonna happen?
No, that'll never. Cause I got dropped foot.
It's hard to get people to reconcile.
Oh.
So I had my back done. I had it done Tuesday.
I don't believe in back surgery.
I've had 4, but it had,
How have you been feeling?
I've been feeling pretty good. Yeah, I'm on sometimes Baptist.
Your voice is still good. You had a good question. Did you think Blake did a good job?
I think you did a very good job. And you both answered my question because really, I know a lot of shit, but I don't know about insurance.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. I tried to ask them the questions like if we were having a phone call that you guys could hear.
That's why I had to ask about that. The way I did because I didn't know.
Yeah.
When I came here, I was told.
Here.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
I don't have.
Two of you, I don't know.
And now we still don't have it.
Bookends.
So we have.
It's all revenge. We're gonna race out here in a little bit.
Ready, set, go. You go first, you're faster. You have more experience.
Yeah. Hey, see you later.
Yeah, God bless. I'm glad that's working.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get home. I've had that a lot. Yeah, I have too.
I'm gonna have to go back to work just to pay the HOA fees. And I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I paid nothing,
Good job.
$15 a month.
Thanks for keeping us.
But most people are saving because it's going up $100 a month, but they're giving us $150,000.
Oh.
So we're subsidizing. Like we're
Right
gonna,
with that.
we're gonna put 50,000 back this year, 25,000 back next year.
Oh.
So it's stair step. It also would have been like 15 or 20. So I mean, we're like, I've been working with them like a game and not game. It's legit money. It's money we earned from Comcast.
Well, you know, they should give us the ability to do gaming and I says, how do you want gaming?
They have gaming, they buy it.
Well, you get yourself a freaking smart TV and end everything.
But we haven't fast enough on internet.
Yeah, I know, but you can get, I got a smart TV, I get almost everything.
I just got this big screen for my computer in the office. It's nice. It was on Costco, $170.
Yeah, we don't, I mean, come on.
It's great for doing my work.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, take it easy.
All right, have a good night.